Maybe the wind will shake some of the snow out the trees. Supposed to blow really hard.
Yes.
Is it tonight?
Yeah.
I thought it was,
The next couple of days.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like 45 miles
Yeah,
an
that's when
hour.
it cools down.
Oh, yeah, oh, the north. That'd be-
Saturday is that starts to cool down.
And all next week is not as cold as this weekend, but it's still cold.
Yeah.
Colder, yeah. I was like, well, maybe we'll get ice, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, look. It's a big body of water you gotta cool off.
What is the lake temp right now?
It's just about
It's
40.
probably 40, around 40.
Yeah. It's only going down by about 3 or 4 hundredths of a centigrade a day.
Not fast enough.
Not for,
It was a little slushy over by Cornucopia. I could see it starting to collect, but
And that's because of the air. Snow cools the water off a lot,
yeah.
and we don't have any snow in
Hmm.
Canada, same thing. Canada is a big help to us as far as cooling the lake off, and then if you get a northeast wind, but it, nothing. Those years. And I think you should put in for a new jacket.
Yeah.
Your yellow, your
That's okay.
fluorescent is just the.
Pockets falling apart.
Oh, that's.
no, that's, is, yes, he will be here. Mhm.
That's.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'd say it's great to be back. There's some, miss it.
Yeah, interesting.
I will say it was fun playing with kids today. It was nice to be back. I missed that.
Yeah, I feel,
Been over here a while.
but he was helping out.
I was like, I didn't miss much though.
He was on
And
Other than like the COVID that ran through the community.
Probably still it.
well.
Right?
our-
Yeah. Dodged a bullet there. I would have been right in the thick of it.
it. Yes, you would have.
So we had a thing called COVID. Everybody's getting it.
Sounds like there's this bronchitis too. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple.
Is that what you had? Weeks ago?
It's a cold.
Just a cold.
One of the few.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 4:45 PM on Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. I will call this regular town board meeting of the town of La Pointe to order. Mike Anderson,
Here,
Sue Brenna,
Here by Zoom.
you're on mute.
Oh,
Oh, maybe you're not.
here by Zoom.
You're by Zoom, okay. Amy Baxter,
Here.
Samantha Dobson.
Here.
And Glenn Carlson here. We also have our town clerk, as well as our town administrator, public works director, and some harbor commission members, as well as members of the public. First order is public comment day. Is there public comment, Paul?
Real quick.
Regarding the rental ordinance with the numerous text changes, I really think the town board or TPC to hold a public hearing and comply with state statutes. Two, as my brother mentioned at last week's TPC meeting, town board should look at giving the Reman Park back to the Reman family if the town isn't going to develop it. Put it back on the tax roll. And regarding taxes, although we got snow this past weekend, the forecast looks very dry with cold. What about laying off some snowplow drivers in staggering terms to save the taxpayers some?
Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment? Okay. Moving on, we have a couple of proposals to open, one for building inspectors, and we have two. One from Alder Engineering. Is that it? One more. Okay, and then one from a company called Wildan,
W.
Wildan Engineering. And it looks like they are based in Schaumburg, Illinois, at least from the letterhead. So we'll turn these over to Michael
Zoning administrator.
and the zoning administrator. Okay. And we'll look forward to hearing a recommendation. I'll give you those, Alex, if you could get those to Ed. Next, we have a proposal for solar installation. We have two proposals for solar installation. One is from Dolma Electric. So here we go. I have a couple of different proposals. And actually, there's some add-ons as well, but the basics, the main garage inverter, what they call the BESS location, would be $250,323. The mezzanine inverter BESS location would be $270,021.98. They also have some add-ons for solar equipment, cabinets and main garage, outdoor rated battery. Okay, so that's the Jolma one. And the other one. Yep. From Westcom Inc. Westcom, WESCOM Inc. And see where they're out of, but have a 218 number.
Sure.
Well, I would if I can find a price in here.
Let's all know.
Yeah. Um,
Well, then it's on the very last page.
thank you, Bill.
If it's not at the top of the last page, this is the bottom of the second to last page. It is hard to find.
Thank you. Oh, here we go. It's on the very top of the last page. That's why. 256,900 and before credit. And so that is the second proposal. And we will turn it over to the Energy Committee. Thank you, Michael. There you go. All right. Next item on the agenda, administrative reports. First is the town administrator's report. We actually, I think, more or less have two reports because we didn't specifically talk about the first report at the last meeting. Does anyone have any questions or comments on?
I do.
Go ahead, Mike.
Michael, on your seventh bullet point, whatever other information you have met with Excel representatives, so you learn about the long-range plans. So what?
I am meeting with them, haven't been.
Oh, okay.
Has there been issues?
Okay.
I think they're just looking at the future of the line.
Cool.
I will find out more and report it back.
I was kind of curious what the long-range plans are.
Hopefully to continue providing electricity here.
Don't want to get.
Make that request.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on Michael's report? I just have a couple of notes. One is that Carl Williams graduated with top academic honors in his police academy class. And so he has already started working. And the second is that Michael and I did meet on January 5th with representatives from the Historical Society to learn about their plans following Kelly Merton's departure as site administrator. Michael, did you want to share?
Please.
Okay, so they are going to hire as their interim site manager, someone who's probably familiar to folks in this area, Mike Wiggins Jr., the formal chair of the Bad River Tribe. I don't have a start date. I don't recall what they said, but it's imminent.
Yeah, it's only like probably February or so, and it's a 6 to 8 month appointment based on their schedule for them.
Got it. And so that was it. Okay, anything else for Michael's report? Okay, moving on. Public Works Director report. Questions for Ben?
Where does the ditching materials get hauled? You said it was hauled. Where does it get hauled to?
The stuff that can be reused goes to the industrial zone. Reach of the taking, anybody who can haul themselves.
Hmm.
And stuff that is really just waste and clay goes up to the sanitary hill for the ponds.
Any other questions for Ben? Ben, do we have a number of benches we're going to put in Russell Park? Is there we've got 4 in there now? Is that right?
I don't. I think it's going to get cluttered if we add too many.
We'll keep an eye on that. Since it's intended to continue to be a green space, but that people do like places to sit. Okay, thank you, Ben. Next is the MERP supervisor's report. Any questions? Comments? Okay. The airport manager's report. Okay. About planning and zoning administrator's report. General accounting administrator's report. Coordinator. Was that a productive meeting with Angie and?
Yes,
Excellent.
we'll leave it to you to determine how productive and means.
Okay,
I do have a question. Maybe Michael knows the answer. You know, we have 4 more payments on our loan to Northern State Bank. So are those monthly payments? It just says 4, it doesn't say when we're gonna be done with the loan.
Typically, those are quarterly, if they're not.
So it might,
I don't.
be in the-
I believe they come off the books.
okay, next item is, police chief's report. And that separately, there's an item on the agenda to talk about, his comments with respect to Ashland County. So that's later on.
I just wanted to say congratulations to Carl for high honors, and it's a great idea about the paperwork to the legislators, so. And he goes to his training.
Okay,
Those are my-
thank you. Any other comments on police? All right, moving on, fire chief's report. It was succinct,
I guess.
okay,
Does anybody know what does basketball with air packs?
So the training they have is they wear the self-contained breathing apparatus. And then they go out to the rec center and play basketball.
Oh, so exertion?
Get them used to how to pace themselves using the equipment. How to get used to moving around with it.
Yeah.
In different positions.
I got it now.
Okay, good.
I've seen the training, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
but probably not as fun as seeing them doing the training in the Gumby suit, right?
Right, that's better for sure.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Ambulance director's report? Thank you, Cindy. Is there unanimous consent to place the reports on file?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, next item, Public Works, Roads, Dock and Harbor. Nothing in particular, okay, Parks? Nothing. Airport, we have a lease for hangar 1A at the airport that we need to approve. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the hangar lease with Langer Goki.
Okay, is there a second?
Not second.
Moved and seconded.
Oh, discussion.
Any discussion?
So are those leases, is every one of those leases 10 years?
No, it can be as long as 10 years.
So he wants the full,
He wanted full length. If you recall, the previous 2 renewals were only for 5 years.
right? So who makes that? Is it up to them to like decide whether they want
Yes.
2 or 5 or?
Yes, it is.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
aye,
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is committees, planning and zoning. First is the rental ordinance review. We are going to be having a workshop on this on Thursday, but if anybody on the board has any comments at this point that you want to perhaps change something before we get to the public meeting, we can do that.
I don't know if this is legal or anything, but with all the things that they are having the people post, I don't know why we wouldn't add their holding tank pump out information.
Hmm.
I mean, it only makes sense for the renter to do that so that their house doesn't flood with sewage, but should it be part of this list of things that we require or not? Was my only question.
You mean how?
For the postings, because it says MRF and stuff,
Right.
like we're requiring that we tell them how to go to the dump, so wouldn't we tell them how to?
Where to call.
You talking about pump out?
Yeah.
Some
Number
they
of-
Make
contact the
pump out
person
number is there.
who owns it, and then they deal with it.
Most rentals that I have worked with, they have the pump out person posted. When I've worked in rental businesses, the houses all had who they should call. But yes, it's also listed at the rental agents. You know, at the inn or maybe Madeline on vacations or whatever, but just nice to have it on the wall.
Any other comments? Otherwise, we'll have our full discussion on Thursday. We don't need to take action at this point. And if you do have any further thoughts before Thursday, send them on. I will be able to attend Thursday's
Mhm.
meeting. Okay, moving on, comprehensive plan maps, Michael.
PDC met and reviewed the initial maps. There are 13 maps. For everything from current zoning and future land use to topography, tree cover, soil types, traffic counts, et cetera. So they recommend that when you get around to review comprehensive plan next week, that you add those maps with the corrections that they requested that others have suggested to the plan.
Thank you.
And again, the maps are in the midst of being corrected. I can give you a link if you want to get an advanced look at what the maps are.
That'd be
Rather than
great.
a small printout, you can get a PDF and load up on a computer screen if you want. We will have the corrected versions posted on the website. We expect to have large scale maps that we physically look at next week's meeting.
Great, thank you. And yes, please, do send the link for people to be able to look at the maps. That would be great.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on, we have committee minutes. Are there any questions or comments on any of the recent committee minutes? Harbor Commission has certainly been busy.
Yeah.
Okay, is there unanimous consent to place the committee minutes on file?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Item 6, Town Hall Administration. We have resolution 2024-0109. I won't read the entire thing, but it is to basically support Ashland County's proposal that would include potentially funding for solar on the island. Is there a motion to approve the resolution 2024-0109?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-0109.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. The next item, I am going to have to recuse myself, and so I will excuse myself from the table. The town board will need to appoint a temporary chair in my absence for that one item. So with that,
You have to leave the table.
I'm going to leave the table.
I'll nominate Mike Anderson.
Okay, and item number 6B is a recommendation to appoint the treasurer. And wasn't there a committee, little group that did it or something?
Yeah, I can talk to that, Mike.
Okay.
So we conducted the interviews. There were quite a few applications, and we chose the ones that seemed to have the most financial experience. And it was over the holidays where people were gone, some people were sick, but we did conduct including one that Glenn and Carol conducted. We talked to 4 people, and Carol was sick. We had a hard time getting where me and Carol could both interview Michael Childers at the same time. But we did both have a come together discussion about all of the candidates, and the questions that were asked were pretty much all the same questions, so we felt it fair that we picked Michael Childers to be appointed to the Town of La Pointe Treasurer's position.
Was it just you and Carol that did the interviewing?
Yes,
Wait, your motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Michael Childers as an interim treasurer.
Till February 16th.
Till February 16th.
On February 16th
He
until.
doesn't go far, does it? And,
All in favor?
I'll approve.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Motion carried.
Good job, Mike.
Come
Thank
back
you.
here, Glenn.
Thank you. And I actually did interview one person prior to Mr. Childers submitting an application and did not participate in any of the other interviews. Okay, well, congratulations, Michael. Starting February 16th, and thank you to Carol for serving as interim or as treasurer for this interim period. Moving on, vouchers.
I will make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,067,579.47.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes. We have the minutes of the special town board meeting on December 27th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve the special town board meeting minutes for December 27th, 2023.
Second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, emergency services, police department, Ashland County response. You all have read both Chief Defoe's comments about the responses that the Ashland County Sheriff's Department has been making, such as they are, and also Administrator Kupta referred to it in his memo, town board memo. Michael, is there anything that you want to add at this point?
Chief and I wanted to make you aware of the deteriorating situation of their response, especially their increasing amount of deferring response to our department when they are on duty, or as two examples, referring one call to our public works department, referring another call to our ambulance department, neither of which are trained to handle the kind of situations that dispatch refer them to. So I think Chief and I want you to be aware, want to know if you want to make any kind of public response to the county or public communication with the county, or whether you want to, when we get to legal action and discuss the ongoing action against the county, whether you want to discuss it in that kind of a setting.
Okay.
And again, just because we are counting on the county for several shifts a week, in general, you know, we are doing this to see what their response level is, B, to maintain our budget and overtime status, and you need to know what the consequences of those decisions are.
Thank you. And it is distressing to hear about some of the serious calls that the Sheriff's Department has decided don't warrant their immediate attention. So we will obviously continue to pursue our petition with the Wisconsin Department of Revenue, and we will obviously get to that. Is there any
Does anybody, do we know, has anybody contacted the sheriff and just advised him of this?
We have not.
Well, I think that should be
Okay,
done.
could you do that?
Well, somebody, Bill should do it, or you should do it, or somebody should do it. Just say that if Public Works got called and you said the ambulance got called for one, that wasn't, that's not appropriate. So just, maybe he might not know it. Maybe it was the dispatcher did it. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Well,
And if he does know, who's his boss?
the sheriff, the
electors,
people,
Sheriff is the boss.
Sheriff is,
There's nobody like
no.
no,
commissioner of police of the
The
state
elected
or anything?
sheriff's boss.
well, the Department of Justice.
Independent elected official, so he does not report to the county board.
Mm.
So if you would, express to the sheriff these, disappointing situations in terms of response.
Have we let our
And-
lawyers know?
Well, and I think it should go without saying that everything's should be documented. Because it's gonna come to a head at some point. And so you put this documentation out and say, at this meeting, at this time, we alerted Brian, the sheriff, that this is going on and it's not acceptable.
Right. And we will, I'm sure our lawyers will hear about all of these cases.
Somebody should be documenting it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure we are.
I mean, ever since we began relying on the county sheriff's department in mid-August to handle certain number of shifts, a week, a pay period, whatever. We have been documenting every call that has gone through dispatch when we are not on duty. And as you saw, we, categorize it as to what kind of response or lack of response there is. And, many of them are probably judgmental, as you've seen lately. There are what anybody would say as serious calls that are not being responded to in any kind of fashion.
Not, well, just so you know, that 911s are recorded. 911s are automatically recorded, and just if you dial the other number, that's not recorded. So it's up to the dispatcher to,
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, thank you, Michael. Moving on, public comment B. I do have a public comment that was longer than 1 minute, but it was written, and so I will read it now. It's from John Carlson, dated Sunday, January 7th. Subject is please give to all town board members. Do the math yourself. I am asking for help with the questions asked in 2023 of the town board and administrator. As you may or may not recall, at the 8/16/23 TPC Q&A, the town administrator made a comment and stated as per fact that many of the new homes being built in 2023 were only for short-term rental. Being an electrical contractor, I was stunned by the statement. So at the next town board meeting, I asked for clarification of the statement. In fact, I believe that at the next 2 town board meetings, I asked the same question, then finally put it in a letter to the town clerk. Only then did I get an answer to my question. I've also included that email exchange. But what it came down to was there was only one home built for short-term rental, and Barb Hartzell had proposed the Raspberry Fields design as seasonal rental. My next question is why the statement was made. It was clearly untrue. When I talked to the town chair about this, he said he thought the TA maybe was a little overzealous and that he would clarify his statement. I disagreed and requested that the TA amend his statement, since he was the one to say it. As of today, not a peep. My next question to the board came at the 12/15/23 meeting where they asked taxpayers for more money, and as nice people we are, we dug deep and did. But when I asked what was the total number of overtime hours for the police department and the total cost to the town, including taxes, benefits, retirement, they tried to tell me why there was overtime, officer leaving. I knew why. I wanted to know the cost and overtime hours. The next day, I got an email from the TA with what he said was the precise answer to my question. Copy of the email exchange provided. When then asked if those answers included taxes, benefits, retirement, since this was the precise answer, the town chair answered in the email and said, add about 20% to those answers. Then the TA answered with what I like to call the math equation. I have still yet to get the total number of overtime hours. I will need those hours to make sure all the other numbers I have been given are correct. Or they just could give me the answers to my questions and I wouldn't have to do that since they had to know the numbers to do the budget. I have been getting answers, but correct answers, full answers. If you see a town board member, ask them the same questions and let me know the answers. Thanks for your help, Don Carlson. Okay, any other public comment?
I have comment. I have an update on the after school program. As of today, I had to adjust the program, taking out 1 day a week and likely 1 month. So, I'm required to cut the current program quite a bit.
Taking out 1 day a week and a 1 month total.
Yeah, the 1 month hasn't been official yet, but I already had to take a day away. After taking off the entire month of December. So it's a question of equity. It seems to be coming up, and we do about 120 to 140 days of programming, where the Bayfield program does a little more than 70. So it's a significant program to the island.
Is the staffing issue been resolved? or-
I am hiring a person for the time, well, Zach, my other assistant's gone. And that's why I am required to cut a day. If I want to have an assistant, I have to cut a day.
Got it,
Otherwise, I have to teach by myself,
got it.
which isn't a good student to teacher ratio.
Right, okay. Well, thank you, Sam, and I will follow up. I had waited to get the information, but I will follow up with the school. It's a tough nut to crack, as you know. But it's at least worth registering our disappointment.
Yeah, and the parents are submitting letters to all the people who should know, so.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any other public comment? Ben?
Just want to go on the record thanking Evan Junior for back-to-back trips in the Murph truck today. 11 cars to the Chicago Iron. Came back with a check for $2,860. And Marty's going to be taking a load of catalytic converters over later this week. Those could be easily a few $100s a piece, and then we have 18 more vehicles put up for disposal. So first quarter or recycling numbers would be way up.
Nice.
Thank you. That's awesome to hear. Because it also gets some of these vehicles off the island. Which is always
Win-win.
good. Yes, indeed. Okay, any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, moving on. Liquor and operators license. Nothing. Lawsuits and legal issues. We still have our petition with the Wisconsin Department of Revenue. Michael has let you know that we have a filing due the end of this month.
Correct.
And then a response. Both parties have to file this by the end of this month, and then both parties file a response by the end of next month, basically.
Correct.
Okay. Any other? Okay, new agenda items for future meetings.
That cooperative agreement between the.
Okay. Have they, I guess we'll need for the Harbor Commission to probably take action on that too. And I have talked to Sue Ellen and have told her that I would like to ask the town board to increase the size of TPC back to the 7 members that they had back in the day. And so I would like that, if not on the next, it might be too soon to get this on the agenda for Thursday night, but if we could get it on the agenda for the next meeting, that would be great.
Affordable Housing Committee has a recommendation. So next regular meeting.
Okay, good. Anything else for future meetings? Oh. Okay, well then, item 14.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries, meeting's adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Hope you enjoyed our brief meeting.
Yeah, not long at all.